Chapter 1, Part 19. Emotionally, it stretches our capacity to tolerate discomfort, to regulate intense feelings, and to bounce back from setbacks. These are not passive processes. They are active mechanisms where our minds and spirits learn to bend without breaking, growing more flexible and robust with each challenge overcome. This transformative process has been recognized by modern psychology in the concept of post-traumatic growth. Far from merely recovering to a baseline after a traumatic event, many individuals report experiencing significant positive changes as a direct result of their struggle. This isn't to glorify trauma, but to acknowledge that suffering can trigger profound personal breakthroughs. Scientific research suggests that confronting highly challenging circumstances can lead to a deeper appreciation for life, stronger relationships, a renewed sense of purpose, increased personal strength, and even spiritual deepening. It's a testament to the human spirit's remarkable capacity for thriving in the wake of adversity. History and personal narratives are replete with stories of individuals who emerged from hardship with newfound fortitude. Think of Viktor Frankl, who found meaning in the horrors of concentration camps, or Malala Yousafzai, whose activism grew even stronger after being shot for seeking education. These are not exceptions, but powerful examples of the Phoenix Principle. The capacity for the human spirit to rise from the ashes of devastation, not just healed, but fundamentally transformed and more resilient than before. Their experiences serve as beacons, illustrating that while suffering is inevitable, its outcome can be a profound strengthening of the self. The clarity of perspective suffering, like a harsh but honest teacher, profoundly reorders our priorities and helps us appreciate what truly matters. When faced with significant challenges, a health crisis, a loss, or a profound setback, the trivial concerns that once consumed our attention often fade into insignificance. The urgent emails, the petty grievances, the material desires that once seemed so pressing suddenly lose their power. This stark contrast provides invaluable clarity, stripping away the superficial layers of life and revealing the core values, relationships, and experiences that genuinely nourish our souls. It's in these moments that we often realize the profound importance of health, connection, time, and inner peace. This newfound clarity enables us to sharply distinguish between superficial desires and a profound life purpose. Before adversity, we might chase fleeting pleasures or societal markers of success that ultimately leave us unfulfilled. Suffering, however, can act as a spiritual awakening, forcing us to ask why we are doing what we are doing and if it aligns with our deepest convictions. It refines our understanding of success, shifting it from external accumulation to internal fulfillment, purpose, and meaningful contribution. This reorientation to what truly matters liberates us from the endless pursuit of external validation and anchors us in authentic meaning. Furthermore, facing difficult realities often bestows the precious gift of presence and mindfulness. When life becomes challenging, the mind can no longer afford the luxury of constantly dwelling in the past or anxiously projecting into the future. The immediate moment demands attention, whether it's managing pain, making critical decisions, or simply enduring. This forced presence, though born from difficulty, can become a gateway to a profound sense of now. We learn to appreciate the simple acts of breathing, the resilience of our bodies, and the fleeting beauty of a sunrise, joys that were once taken for granted. This heightened awareness allows us to fully inhabit our lives, transforming even difficult moments into opportunities for deep engagement with reality. Innovation and creativity, born from constraint. Paradoxically, hardship often acts as a potent catalyst for innovation and creativity. When faced with limitations, problems, or crises, our usual ways of thinking and doing are often rendered ineffective, forcing us to think outside the box. Necessity, truly, becomes the mother of invention. This pressure cooker environment can spark novel solutions, unconventional strategies, and entirely new forms of artistic expression that might never have emerged during times of ease. The absence of resources or conventional pathways compels us to tap into deeper reservoirs of ingenuity and resourcefulness, pushing the boundaries of what we believed possible. History is replete with compelling examples of breakthroughs that emerged directly from periods of immense suffering or constraint. Consider the rapid advancements in medical technology and scientific discoveries during major wars, driven by the urgent need to treat injuries and develop protective measures. Or reflect on artistic movements that were born from profound social unrest and oppression, such as the protest songs of civil rights movements, or the raw, expressive art that emerged from communities experiencing hardship. These periods of collective and individual struggle often provide the emotional depth, shared experience, and urgent need that fuels groundbreaking thought and creative expression. Beyond grand historical narratives, this principle applies to individual lives as well. A person facing a severe illness might discover innovative ways to manage their condition, adapting their lifestyle and routines in highly creative ways. An artist experiencing profound personal loss might channel their grief into a powerful new series of works, transforming their pain into beauty. Limitations, rather than stifling, can actually clarify focus and unleash a potent wellspring of ingenuity. By forcing us to overcome obstacles with limited resources, suffering often unlocks our most inventive and resilient capacities, proving that constraint can be a fertile ground for profound creative blossoming. Embracing the teacher, practices for navigating difficulty, acknowledging and allowing the first step. The initial, and perhaps most crucial, step in navigating difficulty is to acknowledge and allow the presence of suffering. Our natural inclination is often to suppress, deny, or push away painful emotions, believing that by doing so we can somehow make them disappear. However, true healing and processing can only begin when we courageously allow ourselves to feel and process emotions rather than resisting them. Suppressed emotions don't vanish. They often manifest as anxiety, physical tension, or destructive behaviors. By creating a space for these feelings to exist, we begin to release their grip. Mindfulness techniques offer powerful tools for observing pain without judgment. Instead of identifying with our suffering or getting swept away by its intensity, mindfulness teaches us to observe it as a transient phenomenon, like clouds passing in the sky. We can notice the physical sensations, the accompanying thoughts, and the emotional currents without labeling them as good or bad. This non-judgmental awareness creates a crucial distance, allowing us to experience pain without becoming overwhelmed by it, and thereby diminishing its power over us. A key distinction in this process is understanding the difference between clean pain and dirty pain. Clean pain is the unavoidable suffering inherent in life, the grief of loss, the physical discomfort of illness, the sting of disappointment. It's the raw, unadulterated experience of adversity. Dirty pain, on the other hand, is the suffering we create for ourselves through our resistance to clean pain, our negative narratives about it, or our self-judgment. It's the shoulds and what-ifs that accompany the core feeling. By acknowledging clean pain and allowing it to simply be, we can consciously minimize the dirty pain, thereby reducing our overall suffering. Finding meaning in the maelstrom. Humans are inherently meaning-making creatures. We possess a fundamental need for narrative, and this drive is particularly potent during times of suffering. When faced with adversity, we instinctively try to construct a story around our experiences, seeking to understand why this is happening and what it means. This innate need to find coherence in chaos is a powerful mechanism for processing pain and integrating it into our broader life journey. The meaning we assign to our suffering profoundly impacts our ability to navigate and grow from it. Fortunately, there are potent techniques for reframing challenges and seeking the lessons within them. This isn't about denying the reality of pain, but about actively searching for insights or opportunities for growth that might be hidden within difficult circumstances. It involves shifting our perspective from "why me" to "what can I learn from this?" or "how can I grow through this?" By consciously identifying potential silver linings, new strengths revealed, or a deeper appreciation for life, we transform passive suffering into an active process of learning and self-improvement. Central to this reframing is the role of purpose and values in navigating suffering. When we are deeply connected to our core values or a clear sense of purpose, even immense hardship can become bearable or even meaningful. A person committed to compassion might find purpose in advocating for others after their own experience of injustice. Someone valuing resilience might see a difficult challenge as an opportunity to embody that very quality. Having a strong why provides a powerful anchor in the maelstrom of suffering, giving direction and a sense of meaning to even the most arduous journeys. The power of story and connection. While much spiritual growth happens internally, human connection is a vital accelerant, particularly when navigating difficulty. Sharing your experience is a profoundly healing act, embodying the power of vulnerability and authentic communication. When we openly articulate our struggles, fears, and pain to a trusted individual or group, the burden often lightens. This act of verbalizing and being truly heard can dismantle the isolation that suffering often creates, transforming private agony into a shared human experience. Vulnerability, far from being a weakness, becomes a conduit for genuine intimacy and profound relief. Crucially, seeking support through community, mentors, or therapy is not a sign of failure, but an act of wisdom and strength. No one is meant to navigate life's deepest challenges alone. A supportive community can provide comfort, practical assistance, and a sense of belonging. Mentors, having traversed similar difficulties, can offer guidance and perspective. Therapy provides a safe, confidential space to process complex emotions and develop healthy coping strategies. These external supports offer invaluable resources, reminding us that we are part of a larger web of connection, not isolated in our struggles. Furthermore, learning from the stories of others who have triumphed over adversity provides immense inspiration and validation. Reading biographies, listening to personal testimonies, or engaging with narratives of resilience reminds us that suffering is a universal experience, and that countless individuals have found ways to not only survive but thrive in its wake. These stories offer blueprints for navigating pain, igniting hope, and fostering a belief in our own capacity for growth and transformation. They show us that new paths are possible, even when our own feels impassable. Practical tools for navigating hardship. Beyond philosophical understanding, concrete practical tools are essential for navigating hardship with greater grace and efficacy. Journaling offers a private, accessible way to process thoughts and emotions, externalizing inner turmoil and gaining perspective. Meditation and breath work provide pathways to calm the nervous system, cultivate present moment awareness, and observe difficult sensations without being consumed by them. These contemplative practices build inner resilience, allowing us to respond to stress rather than merely react. The role of physical well-being cannot be overstated in mental resilience. Adequate sleep, nourishing nutrition, and regular exercise are not luxuries, but foundational pillars of emotional and psychological strength. When our bodies are cared for, our minds are better equipped to cope with stress, manage emotions, and maintain a sense of optimism. Neglecting these basic needs during difficult times exacerbates suffering, making challenges seem even more overwhelming. Finally, setting boundaries and practicing self-compassion are crucial, yet often overlooked tools. During hardship, it's easy to overextend ourselves or to fall into patterns of self-criticism. Setting clear boundaries, whether with people, commitments, or digital stimuli, protects our dwindling energy reserves. Practicing self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness, understanding, and patience we would offer a dear friend in distress. It's about acknowledging our pain without judgment and offering ourselves comfort, thereby creating an inner sanctuary of support. The ongoing journey, life as a classroom. The most profound lesson in navigating difficulty is the understanding that suffering is an inevitable part of the human experience. It is not a flaw in our design, a punishment, or a sign of personal failure. Instead, it is an intrinsic element of life, a universal constant that binds us all. Embracing this reality liberates us from the futile struggle against what is and allows us to redirect our energy towards how we respond to what unfolds. This acceptance fosters a mindset of continuous learning and growth. Each challenge, each setback becomes a lesson plan, a new opportunity to deepen our wisdom, expand our empathy, and refine our inner resources. Instead of viewing ourselves as victims of circumstance, we become active learners in the grand classroom of life. This perspective transforms adversity from a burden into a dynamic process of unfolding, where every experience, even the painful ones, contributes to our ongoing evolution. Ultimately, this understanding culminates in the freedom and peace that come from embracing all aspects of life, even the difficult ones. When we cease resisting pain and instead lean into its lessons, we discover a profound inner peace that is independent of external circumstances. This is not a naive happiness that denies suffering, but a profound equanimity born from the realization that growth and joy can emerge from any experience. It is the liberation of recognizing that every moment, in its entirety, joyful or sorrowful, is a sacred part of the intricate, beautiful journey of being alive. The illuminated mind, pathways to inner clarity. The landscape of the mind, understanding the shadows and lights beyond the thinking mind, the illusion of constant noise. As we begin to ascend the summit of present moment awareness, one of the initial and most significant challenges we encounter is the relentless activity of the mind itself. Our previous explorations into inhabiting the here and now reveal that while the desire for presence is strong, the reality of constant mental chatter often stands in its way. This pervasive internal dialogue, a seemingly endless stream of thoughts, judgments, and associations, constitutes the illusion of constant noise that frequently eclipses our access to true stillness. This incessant chatter is largely a function of the mind's default mode network, DMN, a set of interconnected brain regions that become active when we are not focused on an external task. The DMN is responsible for much of our self-referential thinking, including anxieties about the future, ruminations on the past, and continuous evaluation of ourselves and others. While it plays a role in memory and planning, its unchecked activity can lead to a pervasive sense of restlessness and distraction, keeping us perpetually tethered to mental constructs rather than grounded in present reality. This constant internal monologue often feels like us, making it difficult to discern where the mind ends and true awareness begins. Further complicating this landscape is the ego's grip. The egoic mind, a construct of self-identity based on past experiences and future projections, thrives on separation and illusion. It interprets the world through a lens of me versus other, constantly seeking validation, defending its boundaries, and creating stories that reinforce its perceived importance. This incessant self-referential activity generates much of our suffering, as the ego resists impermanence, craves control, and fears anything that threatens its carefully constructed identity. Understanding the ego's mechanisms is crucial to loosening its grip and seeing beyond its self-imposed limitations. Identifying these mental patterns becomes a vital first step. We can observe common thought loops, repetitive worries, endless planning, or habitual self-criticism. We can recognize limiting beliefs that dictate our actions and emotional reactions that arise predictably from certain triggers. By becoming aware of these recurring patterns, we begin to create a separation from them, realizing that while these thoughts and emotions occur within us, they do not define who we are. This subtle shift in perception introduces the profound concept of the unseen observer, pure awareness itself, a silent, unchanging witness that remains distinct from the transient flow of thoughts and feelings. This observer is our true essence, the quiet ground beneath the noisy surface. The architecture of consciousness, levels of awareness. To navigate the inner landscape effectively, it helps to understand the architecture of consciousness, recognizing that our awareness operates on multiple levels beyond the everyday thinking mind. We can map this inner world, differentiating between the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious mind. The conscious mind is our everyday awareness, responsible for logical thought and immediate perception. Beneath it lies the vast subconscious mind, a repository of all our memories, habits, emotions, and deeply ingrained beliefs, largely operating outside our direct awareness, but profoundly influencing our reality. Beyond both, many traditions speak of a superconscious mind or universal consciousness, a realm of pure wisdom, intuition, and interconnectedness that transcends individual ego. A significant aspect of this inner architecture is the power of belief systems. Our subconscious mind is heavily influenced by ingrained beliefs acquired from family, culture, and personal experience. These beliefs, whether conscious or unconscious, act as filters, shaping our perception of reality, dictating our responses, and often determining our perceived limitations. Understanding how these belief systems operate and how they can either empower or restrict us is crucial for personal liberation. By identifying and consciously transforming limiting beliefs, we can fundamentally alter our experience of the world. Within this layered consciousness resides intuition and inner knowing, the subtle whispers of higher guidance. This is the language of the superconscious or the deeper self, often bypasses linear logic and speaks through gut feelings, sudden insights, or symbolic dreams. Recognizing and trusting these nonlinear signals is key to navigating life with greater alignment and wisdom. It requires cultivating an inner stillness and discernment to differentiate genuine intuitive guidance from the noise of fear or egoic desires. Briefly, these individual levels of awareness are also connected to the collective unconscious, a concept explored by Carl Jung, which suggests that universal patterns, archetypes, and primal instincts influence individual minds across cultures. This shared reservoir of human experience highlights a deeper interconnectedness, reminding us that our personal journeys are part of a larger human story. Ultimately, understanding this rich architecture reveals the seed of clarity, the inherent capacity for an illuminated mind within everyone. This is the potential for profound self-realization, a state of awakened awareness that lies dormant, waiting to be cultivated and experienced. The path to illumination, intention, and preparation. Embarking on the path to an illuminated mind requires more than mere desire. It necessitates intentionality and preparation. The first practical step is setting the sacred space. This doesn't necessarily mean a grand temple, but rather creating an environment, both external and internal, conducive to inner work. Physically, it might involve a quiet corner, free from distractions, where you can regularly sit in contemplation. Internally, it means cultivating a mental space of receptivity, peace, and focus, intentionally setting aside the clamor of daily concerns to make room for deeper connection. Crucially, the power of intention directs mental energy. A clear, heartfelt purpose acts as a compass for our inner journey. Before beginning any practice, consciously setting an intention, whether it's to cultivate presence, release a limiting belief, or simply to listen to inner wisdom, focuses the mind and opens us to the subtle shifts we seek. This deliberate articulation of purpose transforms passive wishing into active spiritual direction, aligning our will with our deepest aspirations. The journey itself involves navigating the interplay between discipline versus effortless awareness. While structured practice like regular meditation or journaling provides the necessary discipline to train the mind, the ultimate goal is to cultivate an effortless awareness that permeates all aspects of life. This balance means showing up consistently for formal practice, yet also learning to surrender to the natural flow of presence, recognizing that moments of profound insight often arrive when we least expect them, through a subtle shift from striving to simply being. As with any transformative path, overcoming resistance is an inevitable part of the journey. Common obstacles include fear of what we might uncover, doubt in our own capacity or the process, and impatience, the desire for immediate results. Recognizing these resistances as natural reactions rather than insurmountable barriers is key. Cultivating patience, gentleness with ourselves, and a steadfast commitment to the path, even when it feels difficult, allows us to move through these challenges rather than being derailed by them. Approaching the journey with the beginner's mind revisited is an invaluable attitude. This means shedding preconceived notions, letting go of expectations, and approaching each moment of practice with openness, curiosity, and a willingness to learn anew, regardless of past experiences. It's a spirit of humble inquiry that keeps the path fresh, vibrant, and infinitely rewarding. Pathways to inner clarity, practices for illumination, the art of stillness, advanced meditation techniques. Moving beyond foundational mindfulness, the art of stillness delves into advanced meditation techniques designed to deepen our connection to pure awareness. A key practice is deepening concentration, dharana, which involves sustained, unwavering focus on a single point, be it the subtle sensation of the breath, the silent repetition of a mantra, or a chosen visual image. This intensive concentration trains the mind to resist distraction, building the mental fortitude necessary to penetrate deeper layers of consciousness. It's about training the spotlight of attention to remain fixed rather than darting erratically. As concentration strengthens, practitioners begin to discover the silence between thoughts. This is the subtle, profound gap that emerges when the incessant mental chatter momentarily subsides. It is in this spaciousness that pure awareness, untainted by concepts or judgments, naturally resides. Cultivating this gap is not about forcing the mind to be empty, but about recognizing these fleeting moments of stillness and learning to rest in them, allowing them to expand. This practice reveals that silence isn't an absence, but a vibrant presence brimming with potential. The ultimate aim of meditation is not just to be present on the cushion, but to integrate mindfulness beyond the mat. This means extending mindful awareness into every daily activity, transforming mundane tasks into opportunities for conscious engagement. Simple acts like washing dishes, walking, or eating become practices in deep presence. Walking meditation, advanced for instance, involves connecting profoundly with the earth and the present moment with each step, observing the sensations of movement and the environment without judgment. Similarly, a body scan meditation, deep dive, involves systematically bringing awareness to every part of the body, releasing tension and cultivating a rich somatic awareness of internal sensations, thereby grounding consciousness in the physical form. When dealing with distractions, advanced strategies, the approach shifts from fighting thoughts to simply observing them without judgment, acknowledging their presence, and gently returning the attention to the chosen anchor, thereby weakening their power to pull us away from center. Transcending thought, the practice of self-inquiry. While meditation helps quiet the mind, transcending thought involves a direct assault on the very structures that create our perceived reality, primarily through the powerful practice of self-inquiry. At its core is the foundational question, who am I? This isn't a call for an intellectual answer, but a sustained, persistent inquiry designed to dissolve our identification with the ego and its limiting labels. Each time a thought or sensation arises, one asks, to whom does this thought arise? Is this I? This relentless questioning peels back layers of conditioned identity, leading to a direct experience of the boundless self beyond all concepts. This rigorous introspection also involves deconstructing beliefs. Our lives are shaped by narratives we hold about ourselves and the world, many of which are unconscious and limiting. Self-inquiry prompts us to question these deeply ingrained beliefs, examining their origins, their validity, and their impact on our experience. By systematically challenging assumptions, we free ourselves from mental frameworks that prevent genuine growth and insight. This process can be uncomfortable, as it requires letting go of familiar, albeit restrictive, mental territories. As identification with thought forms weakens, we cultivate witnessing consciousness. This involves learning to observe thoughts, emotions, and sensations as distinct from the I or pure awareness. Thoughts are merely mental events occurring to us, not who we are. Emotions are transient waves. Sensations are physical experiences. By maintaining this witness perspective, we create a spaciousness between our awareness and the contents of our experience, preventing us from being swept away by the mind's incessant drama. This objective observation is a key to liberation from mental suffering. The power of self-inquiry is not confined to solitary practice. It can be integrated into daily life, especially through the power of presence in dialogue. Instead of reacting instinctively from ego, one can pause, inquire, who is feeling this reaction? Or, what is the truth of this moment beyond my conditioned response? This brings a profound authenticity and wisdom to interactions. Ultimately, through this unwavering inquiry, practitioners may begin to experience the void and the fullness. This is the paradoxical experience of the ego dissolving into a boundless emptiness, which, paradoxically, is perceived as full of pure potential, infinite peace, and unmanifested creation, the true nature of being. Cultivating radiant awareness, energy and vibrational alignment. Beyond the stillness of mind and the deconstruction of thought lies the vibrant realm of cultivating radiant awareness, which engages with the subtle energies that animate our being. This involves understanding the energetic body, prana, chi, the intricate subtle energy systems, such as nadis, chakras, and meridians, that flow within and around us. These invisible currents are vital life force, influencing our physical health, emotional states, and spiritual vitality. Recognizing and working with these systems allows for a more holistic approach to well-being, recognizing the interplay between physical, mental, and energetic health. Breath as a gateway is a fundamental practice for interacting with this energetic body. Beyond its physiological function, the breath is seen as the primary conduit for prana, life force. Advanced breathwork techniques, such as specific pranayama practices, are employed for energy purification, balancing the energetic channels, and directing life force to specific areas. These techniques can calm the nervous system, increase vitality, and even induce altered states of consciousness, serving as a powerful bridge between the gross physical and the subtle energetic realms. Sound and vibration also play a crucial role in shifting consciousness and aligning energy. The universe itself is seen as a symphony of vibrations. Using mantra, sacred sounds, chanting, or engaging with sacred music creates specific resonant frequencies within the body and mind. These vibrations can clear energetic blockages, uplift the spirit, and induce states of profound peace and unity. Mantras, repeated with intention, can purify the mind, connect to divine archetypes, and facilitate a deeper energetic alignment with universal consciousness. Central to radiating awareness is the heart-mind connection. While much spiritual work focuses on the intellect or transcendence, opening the heart space is recognized as a direct pathway to intuitive wisdom, compassion, and universal love. Practices that cultivate gratitude, forgiveness, and selfless love broaden our energetic field and allow us to perceive reality through a lens of interconnectedness. This integration of head and heart creates a balanced and holistic awareness, where clarity is imbued with warmth and empathy. Ultimately, these practices culminate in connecting with universal energy, allowing practitioners to attune to higher frequencies and experience themselves not as isolated individuals, but as integral parts of a vast, intelligent, and vibrant cosmic energy field. Living from clarity, the illuminated life. The clarity of purpose, living aligned with your true north, moving beyond the quietude of inner work. Living from clarity means embodying our insights in the world, starting with purpose. This isn't about setting conventional goals, but rather discovering your soul's calling, that deeper aspiration that resonates with your core being. When the mind is clear, the whispers of your unique purpose become audible, guiding you toward activities and paths that feel inherently meaningful and aligned with your true north, rather than driven by external expectations or fleeting desires. This clarity transforms life from a series of tasks into a meaningful unfolding. From this illuminated state, decision-making becomes guided by intuition. No longer reliant solely on rigid logic or external advice, the clear mind can discern the subtle signals of inner wisdom, making intuition a reliable guide. Choices are made not from fear or hurried reaction, but from a grounded sense of knowing what feels right and aligned. This doesn't mean abandoning reason, but rather integrating it with a deeper, holistic intelligence that sees beyond immediate circumstances to long-term well-being and alignment. When purpose and intuition converge, the experience of the flow state often emerges. This is where effortless action unfolds, guided by inner clarity. Tasks that once felt arduous become intrinsically rewarding as you are fully absorbed, present, and operating at peak potential. In this state, the distinction between effort and ease dissolves, and contribution flows naturally. Consequently, contribution and service become a natural outflow of this clarity, as a clear and aligned self instinctively seeks to give back, recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings and finding profound joy in selfless action that genuinely benefits the world. Ultimately, living from clarity means integrating spiritual practice into daily life, making illumination a constant companion rather than an occasional retreat. This involves weaving moments of mindfulness, self-inquiry, and compassionate action into the very fabric of your day, from conscious communication to mindful eating. The goal isn't just to have moments of clarity, but to live from that clarity consistently, allowing your inner light to inform every choice, every interaction, and every step of your journey. Relationships as mirrors, reflecting and deepening clarity. In the illuminated life, relationships transform from mere interactions into profound mirrors that reflect and deepen our clarity. This begins with mindful communication, speaking and listening from a place of genuine presence rather than egoic reaction. Words are chosen with intention, and listening becomes an act of deep empathy, allowing us to truly hear and understand others without projecting our own biases or agendas. This mindful exchange fosters authenticity and mutual respect, strengthening bonds and minimizing misunderstandings. From a place of clarity, compassion and empathy naturally extend outwards to others. Recognizing the shared human experience and the inherent divinity in every individual allows us to approach interactions with an open heart. We become more capable of understanding the struggles of others, offering support without judgment, and responding with kindness even when faced with challenging behaviors. This expansive empathy deepens our connections, transforming superficial acquaintances into meaningful relationships. Navigating the inevitable conflict with wisdom becomes a testament to inner clarity. Instead of reacting from anger, fear, or defensiveness, the illuminated individual can respond from a place of awareness, seeking understanding and resolution rather than victory. Conflicts are seen as opportunities for growth, both personal and relational, rather than threats to be avoided. This ability to remain grounded amidst tension fosters true relational resilience and allows for deeper, more honest connection. Crucially, setting healthy boundaries is an act of honoring your illuminated self in relationships. Clarity allows you to recognize where your energy begins and ends, and to respectfully communicate your needs and limits without guilt or resentment. This isn't about pushing others away, but about maintaining your own integrity and well-being, which in turn allows for more authentic and sustainable connections. When boundaries are clear, relationships are built on mutual respect rather than obligation. Ultimately, in the illuminated life, we come to recognize the sacred in connection, seeing the divine spark in every interaction. Each encounter becomes an opportunity for presence, compassion, and shared growth, transforming the mundane tapestry of daily relationships into a rich, living canvas of interconnected divinity. The infinite horizon sustaining and expanding illumination. The journey towards clarity is not a finite quest with a definitive end, but rather the ongoing journey, recognizing that illumination is a continuous process, not a static destination. Life presents an infinite horizon of learning and growth, and true clarity means embracing this perpetual unfolding. There will be new challenges, deeper layers of understanding to uncover, and subtle refinements to integrate. This mindset of continuous evolution prevents stagnation and keeps the spiritual path vibrant and alive. A key aspect of sustaining this journey is embracing impermanence, finding peace in change and uncertainty. The illuminated mind understands that all things are transient, emotions, circumstances, even identities. Instead of clinging to what is familiar or resisting what is new, clarity allows us to flow with life's currents, trusting in the process of continuous transformation. This acceptance of impermanence reduces suffering and opens us to the boundless possibilities inherent in every moment of transition. Inevitably, there will be moments of confusion or challenge, and therefore, dealing with setbacks is a vital part of the ongoing journey. The path to clarity is not linear. There will be times when old patterns reemerge, when doubt creeps in, or when life throws unexpected curveballs. The practice here is not to despair, but to gently return to clarity, leveraging the tools and insights gained along the way. These setbacks become opportunities for deeper learning and for reinforcing the resilience forged through prior challenges. Throughout this journey, the role of gratitude remains paramount. Cultivating profound appreciation for the illuminated path itself, for the insights gained, the lessons learned, the peace discovered, and the journey that continues to unfold, amplifies clarity. Gratitude shifts our focus from what is lacking to the abundant blessings present, deepening our connection to joy and reinforcing the positive feedback loop of spiritual growth. Finally, by living a life aligned with this profound clarity, you build your personal legacy of light, inspiring others to seek their own illumination. This legacy isn't built through grand proclamations, but through the quiet radiance of your presence, the wisdom in your actions, and the compassion in your heart. Your life becomes a living testament to the transformative power of embracing an illuminated existence, guiding others towards their own inner truth.